I'm with Jamal Liddawai from Voice of Ishmael. Now, Jamal, what is Voice of Ishmael?
Well, Voice of Ishmael is an organization started to reach Muslims, and most of the staff and the worker, they are from Muslim background believers who are reaching Muslims in the Middle East and North Africa.
Now, you are a Palestinian from Hebron, but you're now living in the UK. So do you go off into different Arabic countries?
Yes, I travel every month to Iraq, to Kurdistan. We help refugees there and we plant churches there. I go to Algeria and Sudan. I teach in the Bible College in Khartoum, Sudan, Nile Bible College there. And also I teach in the bigger churches in Algeria. And I travel to these countries.
So you go into all these Arabic countries. What is the spiritual mood like in these countries?
Well, it's the amazing things is the move of God is amazing. And as what we're seeing, all the horror and all the things ISIS they did, is actually they're doing us favor and service, because many Muslims now they start questioning their faith and they start asking, hey, this is what we believe in, and now they are more open to the gospel and to the Bible, and they start asking questions about their own faith and about other faith, and we find it's much easier now spiritually for the gospel to come.
So are many Muslims becoming believers in Jesus?
Of course. Well, the most growing church in North Africa is in Algeria. It's nearly 100,000 believers. 39 churches being licensed by the government for this, the amount of Kabylis in Algeria who came to Christ. And also we're seeing in Iran is a movement of many underground churches there. In Kurdistan also we have a license, the first ever license from the government for a Muslim background believer church. It happens in Kurdistan, Erbil. And the Lord really is at work. That's what I can say.
And what is life like for these refugees that are in these countries?
Well, in Iraq, the refugees we work with is really tough, because they have very cold winter and very hot summer. And the summer, the temperature will come to 50 degrees. And they are living in a tent, and it's very, very hot. In the winter also they will get snow, and they're living in the mountain or in the desert, which is very, very tough place to be. And they have no positions or anything to have, and they really they suffer.
And they're just in tents as well, aren't they?
Yeah, most of the Yazidi, because the refugees we get refugees from Syria. For the last 4 years, we had more than 300,000 refugees. They came to Kurdistan and Iraq in the north from Syria. And also we have more than 200,000 refugees, Christians, who fled Mosul and the north, and they came also to the Kurdistan. And you have more than 300,000 Yazidis who are also fled from the Jabal Sinjar, which is the mountain of Sinjar, where the Yazidis. And they all came to the area of Kurdistan, and we nearly have more than 800,000 refugees in Kurdistan.
And how are you able to minister to these people?
Well, the main things we do, we do monthly supply for food and aids and mattresses and whatever we can provide to them. Also, we provide Bibles and Christian books like Joyce Meyer books. We translate them and we print them and we give them the Bibles. And we have teams in the grounds who are Christian, who are follow up with the people who are interested. And we baptize every month, 10 to 20 people every month of these people who are interested, and they give their life to Jesus.
Are these people who have lost everything?
Yes, most of them, they lost everything. And they have really no hope to go back to their own countries or to own cities or villages, because ISIS is still there now. Today is like 1 year and a half. The people who left their home, and they can't see themselves they're going back. And they have nothing, and they can't even, their future is not looking great to stay in the same situation. And they are hopeless with everything. No education, no schools. They don't know what to do with their kids. And really they are in very tough situation.
And how welcoming are they to you as a believer in Jesus coming into a Muslim area?
Well, the main things, I would tell you a story about, the Yazidi guy and the Muslim guy. When we start going to them and give them aid, and we start giving them the Bibles, they start being angry with us. They said, why are you giving us Bibles? You want to convert us. We said, no, we will love you, and we give you the aid, and we give you the Bibles, and if you don't want them, we can take them back. And when I went next time, I was speaking to the elder of the Yazidis, and he said, okay, I said, when I come back, if you don't need the Bibles, if the Bibles harm you and harm your people, we'll take them back from you. And he agreed. When I went next time to visit, the first one to come to me and said, do you have more Bibles? Do you have more books? And that it showed, the people in the beginning, they were rejecting us to giving them the Bible. But later when they saw the love and how the Christian, they come and just helping them without any agenda, they start inviting us to their home, inviting us to come and teach. And actually they will collect many thousands of them to come, and they ask me to speak to them and to preach to them. And this has never happened in the whole of the history, to let a pastor, Christian pastor, to come and to speak to their people. And the amazing thing, when they said, look, our Muslims brothers and sisters and countries, they never came to us and helped us, but you Christian, you come from all that far and you're not from our religion, and you come and help us. And that show, how we love them. And they said, we want you always. We don't like our own people, like Saudi Arabia or other countries who are rich, who can help them, but they never came and visit them. And I think, the Lord we show them the love of Christ by helping them practically and also spiritually.
I'm sure some of them must have horrific stories from escaping from ISIS.
Of course. I mean, one story I can say, is a businessman. He has contracts with the government. He has around $3 million in his bank, and he has 500 workers in his company. When ISIS came to Mosul, Nineveh, he left everything, and he living in one of our tents, and he's depending on our food. And you sit with him and he lost everything. And that's just to see, where his security, where our security. He worked for 20 years building his wealth, and now everything is gone. Other story, you can find people who lost their husband, or they lost their wives, or lost their kids, and many who lost all their saving, homes, all their position, and they have nothing. And it's really tough for them. And I can remember a story when a lady, she walked from Mosul for 12 hours. She walked with her child in her hand and another child walking beside her. 12 hours. She arrived to the borders. Her feet is bleeding, and the only thing, she told me when she arrived to the border, and she said, Lord, she saw somebody walking with her all the way, and when she reached the border and she looked at him and she didn't find him. I said, where's the guy who was with me all the time, or when I left Mosul to reach to the border of Idhok? And she said, that was Jesus, the angel of Jesus, who was with me, allow me to come or protect me to come to that area. And we can hear so many stories of people how God really was with them and taking them step by step in this very, very tough place, a very tough situation.
And you also do some work in Israel as well. What have you been doing in Israel?
Well, in our heart for the last 4 years is we believe in Isaiah 19. It's every nation, they will come and pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And we work with a ministry called the Crossroad Ministry in Jerusalem. And we bring believers from Muslim background, believers who are living in Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Turkey, to Israel. And with the Messianic Jew believers together, we pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And we hoping we're going to get more wider people. They come from the Middle East and Muslim countries to come. We had last year people from Iran, from Jordan, from Palestine, from Egypt, and from even Algeria, and from the North Africa. We had people, they all Muslim background, and they came as believers, joining with the Messianic Jew believers together, praying for Jesus, for Yeshua, and praying for the peace of Jerusalem. And in our heart, we want to see more that's to happen.
It must be really wonderful to see Arab and Jews worshipping together in the same spirit.
Exactly. I think this is how we felt, this is the Lord. He's never going to be peace unless us as a Christian who are the peacemakers, and plus the peacemaker who going to bring all that together. As a Palestinian myself, I hate the Jew. But when I became to Christ and the Lord started changing my heart, the Lord challenged me, said, you need to love the Jew and to forgive the Jew. And it was a challenge for me. I said, okay, Lord, I'm a Christian now. I need to do that. But I said, okay, I will love them. But the Lord challenged me again. I said, it's not just loving them by word. You need to serve them. it was the most challenging thing. Is the Lord said you need to have to love, and to do your love is in a practical way, is to serve them and to see the best for them. We can't just say we love people and we're not serving them. And that's the message we want to take for the Jew and the Palestinian. If we are Christians and we love Jesus, we don't want to say we love people. We want to do things. And the Lord challenged us to say, okay, the word love is nothing with doing nothing. We need to do something. If we love them, we need to serve them and to do the best for that nation or any nations.
Well, Jamal, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Thank you.